What's going on here? What's going on? Forgetting something that I need to do. What is it? Hey. Hi. My name's Eric. I'm making a game. That game is called The Godkiller. You solve puzzles. You fight things. You run away from things. You explore. You talk to people. But there's no dialogue trees, because I don't like dialogue trees. There's no cutscenes. A lot of story, but it all just happens as you play. And it doesn't make you stop playing ever. Even the very intro of the game, where there's a title screen and it shows the name of my company and all that kind of thing. You can even play it right there. So there's no point where I'm forcing the player not to play. Anyways, that's just one minor feature of the game. Let me demo. I'm trying to practice a little bit of pitching the game because I've got some days ahead of me where I'm going to be promoting and pitching the game to publishers and other people too, I suppose. And I know that is a big part of releasing an indie title. Being able to sum it up in some way that's compelling to other people. Right now I have the advantage of just being able to demo, just being able to show you the game itself. I'll demo recent progress. Last night I finished up, no, not last night, last afternoon I finished up this level here. Let me also explain the game from the point of view of somebody who's completely new to it. Not from the point of view, to the point of view, to the person who has the point of view. Oh, no. My language is very convoluted today. Alright, also, what always happens 2 minutes after I get started is my body heat rises a tiny little bit just from the act of talking and also closing the door. Those two things make me a little bit warm as I start out, so let's go ahead and take off my half marathon sweatshirt. Alright, so this game. This is not the best level to introduce anyone to. This is a level maybe 40, 41, something like that. 45. So you would have gone through a whole bunch of other levels. But, you've got movement commands. Now, because there's ice here, when you push in one direction, you go all the way in that direction. Normally, you might walk one square at a time. The world, by the way, is divided up into discrete squares. Discrete spelled R-E-T-E as opposed to E-E-T. They're not secret squares, but they are quantized. You're always inside of one square at a time, even when it might look like you're animated to move between two squares. As far as the game is concerned, you are inside of one square. Okay. So then there's these axles. You push on them and they turn. It makes it a little bit more difficult to navigate around with the ice and see what's going to happen, but that's basically. So this is a multi-state maze. You're trying to get to the level exit, which is a little hard to see. But this red light coming out of here is a clue to somebody who's gone through the other levels. That's where the exit is. That's where you probably want to go. Okay. Now it's possible to get stuck in this maze. I don't think I'm properly stuck now. I could go around this way. But if you were stuck, you go to a spike and just kill yourself. And it doesn't quite restart the level. For this level, it does seem to restart it because there is a side effect that when you die, it will rotate all of the axles to their initial position. But other than that, it doesn't change the state of the level. It just kind of teleports you to this egg, your home egg, where you're born at. You can die as many times as you want. It's just not a big deal. And in fact, some levels you die on purpose just to use it as a means of teleporting to some place you'd rather be. Hey, Fright! How's it going? Let's see. Alright, so I gotta see if I can arrange this maze such that I can go up into that north area. Key thing is getting this one so it's rotated up so there's something to catch me and I'm not sliding past all the time. Alright, and that is a solution. If I wanted to get more challenge from this level as the player, there's on this level and every other level there's a present, and you can find that present, and it's usually a little bit harder to get to it than it is to get to the level exit. But here's the level exit. That blue thing is a stupid artifact that only happens in my dev environment. In the player, I've never seen. In the player builds, I've never seen that happen. Okay. Another thing I recently added is that when you load another level, it'll display a title to show the level. So there I was trying to go to the next level, and I just stopped it. Okay. So that was the demo portion of the stream. I start each stream with a demo. It's a good way to make it so that people who just want to see the latest status on the game can just watch the videos I've recorded and uploaded to YouTube, as well as the backlog on Twitch, and just quickly see, you know, what's new in the game. But then the rest of the stream, most of the stream, I just work, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'll work on today I'm going to work on making the axles so that they do not instantiate at playtime, but fully instantiate at edit time. The reason I'm doing this is two reasons. One, it's a better design. It's better to have all your game objects created at edit time and not do a bunch of runtime manipulations to create them, unless you really need to. But in my case, I don't need to. The second reason is I've got a bug that only shows up in the player build, which is the worst kind of bug for me. And I think I can get it to go away if I make this change. We'll see if that's true. The bug is that, and it's hard to demonstrate unless I pull up another laptop that's not on screen easily, or a video that one of the playtesters sent. The bug is that when I have spikes on the spokes, I'll show you. See, right here, I click this and it changes the instantiation of the prefab so that there's spikes here. When I have spikes here like this, and I rotate the axle, the meshes for the spikes will just stay in place and not rotate with the rest. So in the editor it works fine. I'll show you. Although I might have placed it on a difficult to rotate axle. Yeah, it's going to be tough. Maybe impossible to rotate that particular axle. Let me put it on a different one. Spikes off. Over here. Do north spikes. North, left. No. West. Right. There we go. Okay. So I can play again. I did a bunch of other stuff yesterday too. A lot of bug fixing. A lot of level bug fixes. I think I also picked another axle that's hard to rotate. Let me see if I can get there. Damn. If we're just trying to show you something simple, I'm taking a long time to do it. Alright, let's turn this off. Which one can I definitely rotate? This one over here I can definitely rotate. Okay, so we'll say E spoke, left spikes. Okay, here's how it's supposed to work. The spikes rotate with the spoke, with the whole axle, it all rotates. So that's fine, that's not a bug. But in the player builds, when I make a build of this whole thing that I can distribute, it's the executable, it's got all the assets in it, it's the actual thing that you play if you're the player. When I make a player build, I do that rotation, these spikes here stay right where they're at. They don't rotate with the rest of it. And the trouble is, the bug is only in the player build. So a lot of my normal troubleshooting techniques are difficult to use. So I would normally bring it up inside of the IDE and see, like, did the game objects for the spikes get reparented the wrong place? Are there some console messages? I put it in the debugger, see if any logic was being called in different ways. All that's unavailable to me. So I've got a couple of different techniques. One is instrumentation, meaning I put lots of log messages to come up with different settings of things. Like, for example, I could have a log message say, what is the parent transform of these spikes, and see if it's the same as the one for the spoke. That involves making quite a few guesses on what's useful to instrument. And usually you end up over-guessing a little bit because it takes about a half hour to make a player build with the game at its current size. So I end up, like, if I'm going to go instrumentation, I'll put in a lot of instrumentation. Could spend a couple hours just writing instrumentation and not find the cause of the problem. Now, the second technique, I said there were two techniques. The second technique is to just go for it. Just make a good guess about what might be wrong, make the change, and see if it fixes it. So it's like skipping past the diagnosis part and going right to the fix. So it could pay off, or it could be a waste of time. I just know that there's one thing I would like to do already, that even if it weren't the cause of the bug, would be useful to have, and that is having the axles be edit time instanced only. No instancing of them at playtime. Not by code anyways, not by my code. So there's already benefits of that approach. If I rewrite little bits of the axle code to be edit time instancing only, then I'll at least get the benefits of that, and maybe I will also fix the bug that's in the player build. So that is what I'm going to tackle today. I don't think it'll take all day. I don't think it will. I think I'll get to pick something else to do after that, and maybe something more fun for me. Not that this will be bad, but I wouldn't mind adding some new features or something. Okay, let me revert this little bit here. It doesn't actually need spikes on this level. And I'll save it. No, I need to not have all my personal private tabs just hanging out up here. Alright. These are okay. I don't mind people seeing all the stupid videos I look at. Oh, okay, let's get out of this level, go to a test level. If I'm going to be restarting a number of times, I want to have the level load fast, so I'd rather use one that doesn't have so much geometry inside of it, so many game objects. So let's just go to this one. This one should start pretty fast. Okay. Thankfully, I should not have to touch the game logic of the axles. That's the hard stuff. That's the stuff that I spent a hell of a lot of time fixing, making robust in different situations. Okay, let's just delete. We'll have extra stuff here. But just, whoa, where'd my egg go? That's weird. Okay. Get rid of that. Let's drop an axle. Give it a spike. There we go. Let's save that. Then, oh yeah. Rider crashed last night. It crashed when I switched my screen mode, or my video mode. Yeah, it must be a video mode. Okay, so then I want to go. So here's the anatomy of an axle. There is the axle game object by itself, and it looks like this. Okay, then it's got this thing called spoke pattern, which is a prefab. I think it's specified here, and there's code inside of this axle discovery script that says that if I have one of these selected, like north, it's going to instance this spoke pattern. It's going to rotate it into the right position. It's going to put it in place. Okay. Similarly, if I click on these left or right spikes, it actually deletes this prefab and starts over again and puts another prefab in place and then modifies it. So the spoke pattern is just this thing here. That's the spoke pattern. And then there's left spikes and right spikes. The script for axle discovery will delete those spikes if they're not supposed to be part of the design. So this code works in the editor, but it runs a second time in the player. I think it doesn't actually need to run in the player. I know there was some issue I had, and I'm like, let's just have an instance in the player. I'll get around it that way. I don't remember what that issue was. I do not remember. So I think I'll start by just seeing what happens if I make it so that it doesn't instance anything at playtime. What happens? Let's go to axle discovery. I'm a better Unity coder than when I originally wrote this. I'm hoping that I'm like just so much better that This problem that was originally hard for me is easy today. Now that sounds just like I'm deluding myself, though. We'll see. We'll see if I'm suddenly smarter, if I'm more knowledgeable, and that old problem, whatever it was, is easy to fix. Why the hell is it not starting up Rider? Oh, it is there. Okay. Just was quietly there, waiting for me to use it. Okay. So I've got this thing that I thought was going to be like just a really wonderful, reusable framework called AutoFab. I think it's actually not that good. Well, there is this thing here. This might be my problem, actually, in the player. So I'm saying destroy immediate. This is something you're recommended to do inside of editor-only code, but not in play code. That might be the cause of my error. I'm just going to make a note of that. By the way, this is all the stuff I got done. Over the last week. And it went out in my release to play testers yesterday. Okay. I'll move this up top since it's my active problem. So maybe if I make it so AutoFab is not called in play mode, maybe that does it. Okay, let's go to AutoFabber. This is some of the oldest code I wrote. It's a year and a half old. You can see the conventions that I used to use that I no longer use. Application is plain. If not application is plain, okay. But the other problem with my thinking is, see, this is not going to get called. This is not going to get called in the build. So this definitely cannot fix it. So maybe that other code isn't getting called either. Huh. Let me think about this. Close all to the right. Maybe I'm wrong about this code getting called within the player or within play mode. Actually, it would get called in editor play mode here. Now, I've taken this out though. What if this allows me to reproduce the problem? Okay, let me just run through this. It's 0 plus 1. Okay. I thought of something. Maybe the scene organization yanks those spikes off. So I just made a change to it which prevents instantiation in play mode. Let's take a look at this axle here. Okay, we got these spoke patterns, offsets, left spikes. Okay, if I do organize scene, what happens? Nothing. It's fine. If I do play, I'd be really happy if I could reproduce the problem without making a player build. I can reproduce the problem. This is a bug I'm really happy to see. And at least it starts to make some sense. Because that change I made actually made it so that the conditions that are in the player build will be present within the editor in play mode. Okay, so the spikes aren't really there logically. They're over here. I would die if I went south. But the game objects, what do they look like? Let's turn that off and replay this. See, they're all right there. Are there some of them someplace else? All right, well, let's go. So this is the thing that gets rotated. I just don't understand why it wouldn't rotate those as well. Because they are parented off of this. Let me make sure that this is actually getting rotated. I'm going to go. Okay, so go look at this offset. Yeah, now it's at 180. I could actually change this. I could set this to 0. And those spikes are still there. Okay. Okay, 180. It's really a strange issue. Huh. Oh, one other thing. Static. Static will get you. That's probably... Oh, that's almost certainly it. The spikes are static. I think I just about got this. That's the problem. I'm almost certain of it. I'm almost certain. Okay. So... let's say these are not static. Yeah, change the children. Change the children. Somebody needs to change the children. The children are not okay. That's it. That's it. That's it. On the path here. On the path. Project. Prefabs. Level. Axles. Spoke pattern. Spikes. You need to not be static. What? Who's still... Why do you think you're partially static? Contribute GI. So let's do this guy again. This is quite gratifying. Okay. This also reminds me of just a general principle. So, when I was not as good of a Unity programmer, I was working on this, and I made a change that was quite a bit like the one that I just made now. It would have been, I could probably even go back in my Git history and find the same line of code that was changed. And then I noticed after I put this in that the spike would just, be stuck like it would show that bug. And so I said, well, it was working before. I'll just put it back how it was. And I didn't stop and figure out, well, why? Why is it doing it that way? Instead, I took the lazier choice and I just put it back the way I thought would work. And then it bit me in the ass a little bit later. Like a year later. Thankfully, I didn't spend that much time on it though, so I'm not going to chastise past me that much. I think it probably used up an hour of my time. Arguably, it was the right decision for me to punt way back then. Because later on I became a better developer and I could see the problem more easily. I don't know. There are some things now I could say the same thing about. So, for example, in the console, where is it at? Oh, yeah. Now I can't see it, I guess. But there is a little warning that pops up every once in a while. It says it can't load all the editor windows that you want it to. I sort of tried to get that to go away, and I looked up all the stuff I could on Google about it. And it still didn't show me what I needed. And I said, well, it doesn't seem to be causing any problems. I'll just keep going. And that's kind of what I did with this bug from a year ago. So it does leave me with an almost philosophical question. Nah, not philosophical, that's pretentious. A meta question, or a question about how one best goes about doing their software engineering work. Should you always, in every case, when you see something that's not quite right, go, or doesn't make sense, go figure it out? I don't think always is right. I think there's some kind of threshold. But you or one or me ought to probably set that threshold for figuring out the reasons why something are not working as expected a little bit higher when you consider the chances of that evidence of something wrong causing trouble later on. So maybe this experience just made me set that threshold just a little bit higher, lower depending on how you look at it. The threshold for ignoring a warning or something behaving unexpectedly, set that threshold higher, because probably it's going to bite you in the ass later. Or you might get some common knowledge reward from exploring it. So like figuring out the problem, even though it might not be that important for the particular behavior that you need in one given day, figuring out that problem might apply to other things. All right. So that, I'm almost certain this is fixed. I'm going to go ahead and put it optimistically in my release notes for round 10. I've done 3 rounds or releases to the playtesters in my alpha. I'll just say fixed. Okay, and that hint that I wrote, let's see. Some of this code can be purely editor. Let me see who calls everything, because I would like to have as much code as possible compile out. Also, me putting this in an editor is going to help me see that this code underneath here is correct. Because you're not supposed to call destroy immediate if you're in play mode. You're supposed to call destroy, and that'll wait till the next update frame before it actually destroys it. I think autofab. No, we do need to have the AF root transform. Do need get AFRs. Let me move this up above so I can see the calling order a little bit better. Okay, so add spoke and autofab. Let's see who calls autofab. If it's edit only code, I'm all right. Yeah, autofabber. Got this guy not matching the class name, which is not something I like. Let's just rename that. Unless, do I also have autofab in here? No. Okay. This can go in editor. I mean, this might be something I reuse. Yeah, this should not ever get called outside. This can be inside of editor as well. Who uses AF prefix? Is it all code beneath? Yeah. Yeah, this is private code. I think all this stuff can come down underneath. Yeah, I'm just going to put it all inside of editor. And if there's anything that I actually need in play mode, I'll have some other function or variable that accesses it. So let's put this under Godkiller editor. And what is all this up here? Okay, then I'll make a kind of a empty version of this beneath. Doesn't need to be abstract. Does need a mono behavior though. Looks like Unity editor is not ever used. Let's get rid of that. Namespace. Go back to Axle Discovery, which is broken in different ways. Let's put all this shit down here. And then I do not know why. Yeah, I screwed something up. What did I screw up? Oh, namespace. I changed the namespace. So let's call this okay. And then stuff seems prissy now. Little sections, private, public, etc. Seems very prissy. So this will go inside of editor only code, but my playtime code is using it, so let's write another function. this one, same deal. Oh, this whole design is just weird. I'm trying to remember why I did it this way. I think it was like I didn't want to be re-instancing all the prefabs all the time. Like if you made a change and the change didn't actually do anything important, that these AF vars, which had a hash code, would be comparable, and you could say, oh, nothing actually changed. Even though I have a non-validate, there's nothing there that changed that affects instantiation, so you could avoid doing a whole bunch of instancing. It was kind of like a premature optimization, particularly since it's edit time code. So, I don't know. I'll let sleeping code lie. Alright. Get AF root transform. Find rotation offset. Yeah. It's a more meaningful name. It'll help me out later. Put this here. Yeah, it isn't terrible, this autofab stuff, but it just doesn't have much value. I think down the road, I don't think I'll keep using this autofab, but for now I'm just going to leave it alone. It's only got just a little bit of inefficiency and unwanted complexity in edit code. By the time I get to play mode code, it's just fine. It works fine. And not just works fine, but like there's no hint of inefficiency. The only inefficiency I can see is this creating a new structure here, but that's like one time during the level load. That's not too bad. If I was writing this today, I would probably just pass all of these variables in the constructor here and not worry that they're kind of silly. Oh, you never go away, do you? Although it's been a while since I've seen you. Big follows. Proud of you for being so persistent. Proud of you. Not that this does very much, but I'll keep doing it for now. And the reason I'm actually going to waste a little bit of time to report and block is because The reason I'm going to take the time to report is because I actually did notice some improvement in the bot activity over the last week or so, which makes me think possibly Twitch is doing something useful in response to the reports of bots. So yeah, I guess I'll follow the pattern. I hope it's not some kind of rubber ball they put there that they basically ignore. It's just there to make me feel a little bit better. I can report it. It might be that. It might be like a little psychological trick. It's like, I want to get angry and vent, so therefore I do the report thing, and that makes me feel better, like something happened. But in reality, it's totally orthogonal to their effort of fighting bots. So I don't know if it's a waste of time or not, but for now I'm going to continue doing it, just because I've seen recent improvements in bot activity, which may or may not have had to do with earlier reports. Also, this one is seems to have evolved a little bit. I see some different characters that they're using. Okay, back to this. So yeah, I think I might have just these days just go. I would have just passed all of these in as parameters, even though it's unwieldy to look at in the code. Because back then I didn't understand that allocating new structures for things could cause frame rate drops. Okay, let me look over this, make sure I'm not missing something. Basically, I don't want anything here in this code to call anything within the editor only code, because all that code gets compiled out. Make my code a little more concise. Okay, let's see if I broke anything. That still works. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, that seems to work still. Okay, I think this is better. I think this is much better. Cool. Let me do one other thing. Do a commit, but I'm also going to do a push. That'll start a build going in the background off on the Unity Cloud build, and I will be able to check a little bit later to see if I broke the build, and more than that, I'll be able to create a player. I'll be able to download a player from Unity Cloud build and test it out, which usually I do that off stream, but it doesn't hurt to just start a build going. So they take 30 minutes or so. Then I move on to the next thing. I don't wait for the build, because I'd be sitting here for 30 minutes. It'd be very boring for me and anybody watching. All right, next. Huh, I did not expect that to go so fast. Whew. Let's take another look at the backlog. Okay, let's fix this one. Let's fix this one. Yeah, let's do it while I still remember. Well, I still remember what the issue was. So there's find creature in push path. We can also do, we can make a new one called find creatures in push path. That's the problem. There'll be like, there's a need for me to see all the creatures inside of a push path. So we say find creatures in push path, and let's have you pass in the list found creatures. Debating whether I want to have the caller clear it, but I think it's better if I clear it. Okay, so I'm also going to take this as an opportunity to refactor some of the common functions between two modules now that this has settled down a little bit. Okay, so we'll say, I've got some comments in here too, like, yeah, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup in here. Static list piece reuse creatures in path. New list. I would not normally write this way. This is definitely a Unity specific practice to avoid allocating repeatedly on multiple frames and having an extra garbage collection. I have these static reused members here. So what I can do is I can say find creatures in push path. Say reuse creatures in path. Okay. So let's just go to a level that has already got the situation set up that I need to check for. Beards versus Chuckers. I'm going to rename them. I'm not going to call them Chuckers. Let's play it. Okay, they're still knocking blocks at me as they should. The case that I was trying to get to was when there's an enemy that's in front of the push path between them, their block, and me, that they would still push. Or, to be more general, a creature. Okay, so here's these guys. Yeah, I'll do the old case, which should still work. Dang it. So here it seems to me like that they should be able to... Oh, there we go. Okay. There was just one moment where they didn't... I'm not sure if that was a bug or if something else was going on. Okay, let me see if I can get one that's on the same column as me. Come on. This might be hard. Try this again. Jeez, get down there, come on. There we go. This is the thing. I want the new behavior to be that as soon as I move south, that they're going to fire a block and kill this guy, even though he's right now on the same column as me and is blocking the path. So they should be so excited to kill me that they'll kill him, and doesn't matter that he's standing in between. Oh, fuck, it's not working yet. Damn it. Okay. Okay. I think I have an idea what's going on. Push it till it's probably going to be is push blocked. No, that should be fine. Alright, I think I'll probably have to debug this. I'm going to write a question while it's on my mind. put that out there while I was still thinking about it. Ooh, got a comment. What's my comment? Deep pit versus the pit of descent. Not a bad thought. Not a bad thought. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to have to walk through this in the debugger. Let's get right to the point where the issue exists. There we go. Oh, come down. Man, they just don't want to go where I want them to go. I could just place them in the editor. Let me see if I can just jiggle it around to get them where they need to go. Here. There. Okay. Ah, here I can do it. All right. I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back. Holy algorithm 1.0. Okay, so this, okay, it will not be, no, it will be this next turn. Okay, so let's set the breakpoint now. Find creatures. we go. Okay, it's got a ways to go. Let me see, where is the player piece at? What column? So I can figure out which column I need to actually look at. Board, player piece, column 49. And where am I at now? 5. Okay, this is going to be a while. So I'll start looking at what's going on as soon as I get some kind of M piece. And I can actually set the breakpoint on that condition and just hit play. Okay, so now I'm column 30. What is the M piece? A beard. Good. Okay, the question is it going to exit out before it gets to where the player is? Okay, is the push blocked? Let's check. Piece is pushable. What? Oh, I was thinking it was going to return true here. So it is checking for the thing that mattered to me. So we'd say, okay, so return false. That means it's not blocked. Okay, that's as expected. Never mind. I was getting the negatives confused. Okay, it returned false. Weird piece. Same logic. Null. Beard. I think I've got maybe 3 more of these, something like that. Player piece is way off to the east. Okay, 38, quite a few left. I'm going to hit play just in case there's something going on that I don't understand. Let's set that breakpoint there. Hit play. Whoa, what? You didn't find the player piece? You didn't find the player piece. I thought I was moving on to... What do I think about this? I wish I could see inside of the editor what the state of things is. I'm just going by my memory. I thought that I had moved into the the firing column or filing row. And then this checker would be reacting. Okay, so the row is 22, column is 49, 49, 22. And these beard pieces, are they on the same? Well, actually, look at row is 22, column 50. I don't get it. Okay, let's see. Okay, 50, 22, 18. Why? Why wouldn't this have come back and been added to found creatures? Because here I've only got the 3 of them. And I traversed over 49, 22. 49. Just gotta double check this again. 49, 22. We're on 18. So it should be there. I mean, it stepped 1 past it. Okay, so something weird happened. I don't understand it. I'm gonna have to go through the debugger again. Let's hit D. Get my commands there. Start again. Okay. All right. Bam. There we go. So the first one is a beard. Let's look through this again. And this time I'm going to check and see what actually returns on 49. I can take this out. Just so I don't go past it again, let me just make sure. 49. That's the one I want. Okay. 49, 22, 18. This should be okay. 49, 18, 49, 22, 18. Well, this is on the predictive board. God damn it. I mean, the predictive board should also be updated, but all right, just to see things clearly, I need to get out of here and remove this from, and turn off the predictive board. Okay. Predictions, let's turn it off. Okay. Okay. So all that shit I was looking at before came a little bit after I moved. It was doing predictions. And it wasn't the result of my actual command. So if I go back north, it seems unlikely that the checker's going to check, because it didn't call that code that I had the breakpoint set on. So I think I've got another mystery to solve. Go through the calling code that would perhaps call this new function I wrote, find creatures in push path. Oh, well here. There's the problem right there. Got it. Okay. Let's try this. There we go. Works. Fixed. Done. Okay. So before I get too smug, let me do this thing that I wanted to do earlier, which is move some stuff into this general class. Okay, so I'll look at each function in chucking activity and I'll see if it's exactly the same in all blocks, and if it is, I'll just move it over. Okay, is square blocked. Just put this here, and then let's go is square blocked. It's the same. But let's rename this. That's fine. Yeah. Block activity util. Okay, there we go. Okay. This will be public. Okay, let's just delete this. That'll get push CRH may get moved over too. Let me check on that. Yeah, I can delete this. Let's try putting this over there too. Is it the same? Well, it would be, except I made some changes to it just now. This one might be the same too. Let's take a look. A little bit different. A little bit different. It's got this push direction here. So that's from all blocks. And over here, find target block has got something there. So I can pass in push direction though. So if I say inside of this function, let's put this up here. Not quite that simple. Alright, I'm going to leave this one alone. I'm not going to refactor it. So it seemed like one that would be same, but it's not really. And the refactoring activity to kind of make the reuse parts go off into a common module is kind of likely to introduce bugs. So there's a case where I'm gonna let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Okay, set push direction. Okay. Here, let's put this guy back. Okay. And even though I might end up redoing this, let's fix the bugs. I might end up redoing it because this function might end up going over into that utility function, etc., and then these will be different. Okay, so okay. See, one thing that's not called at all. I'm just going to delete it. This is maybe not called now. Will it be called later? I think the idea was I'd have dialogue that comes up when a push path is blocked. Like, hey, can you move out of the way? Like an NPC would ask you to move out of the way, that type of thing. I'll leave it for now. Alright, set push direction, that's going to be unique. Find target block, unique. Find contact square. Let's take a look. What? Find target block never used? Oh. Okay, well, I like that. It just means I get to delete some code. Cool. Okay, let's see if these are the same. Find block pad contact square. It's different. Well, it's named differently at least. They actually look quite a bit similar. Let me analyze them a bit with them right next to each other. Let's bring this in. I might have just renamed. Okay, that's all blocks version. Okay. So they've got different signatures for the parameters. Suppose I think this is like the more minimal set of parameters passed in. Let me see what this is like if I go there. So it used to be I mean, this is the better written function. I think these are just renamings. PCRH is probably the same thing. It's from C, from R. Yeah. Target block piece. Okay, but these are different though. This is saying a block pad. They're very close, but they're different enough. I'm gonna leave them alone. Or maybe, here's what I'll do. Let me put this function inside of here. Okay, cool. Let's put adjacent deltas over there. See, it doesn't have to be a block pad. That's the thing. Let's call it find target contact square. And we'll rename this to be target CRH. In fact, I'll even go target C and both of them to use this. So, no, let that be. Just put this back. Just rename it. And that should make it general purpose. Target CRH. Okay. So, exercise in pulling some sweater threads, but not others. So do that, come back here, delete this guy. Okay, and actually this should be refactorable as well. Let me just try this. Delete this guy and then cause an error and then fix the error. Lock activity util. And it will be piece get call piece. Actually, I can use the piece CRH from up above. That was piece CRH, right? Yeah, it was. Okay. So we'll say piece CRH. Oh, stop. Stop. Piece CRH. S block piece. Get CRH. What? What is your complaint? Oh, missing a comma. Okay. All right, next. Other stuff that is not working is in this file here. I believe these are going to be things we can copy over as well. Find direction towards target. Is that never ever used? I guess not. Delete. Okay, find a JSON index. Okay, and is it the same over here? I think so. Let me double check. blocks. Forget to delete this as well. Trucking activity. I think there's just going to be a bunch of these to copy over. So let me just get a bunch of them all at one time. Get CRH at adjacent index. That one should go over. That looks exactly the same. Let's just delete that. Bring it over. Some of these don't need to be public static too. In fact, I'll not make them all public static to start. Let's see what we actually need to be public. Find adjacent index. Okay, what else? There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff here. These almost positive can go over there. Okay. Yeah, let's just delete those. Okay, this is specific to this activity in this file. So this should not refactor. That also means that all of these guys need to be public. So find adjacent index. You get to be public. Okay. You also get to be public. Am I right? No. Next clockwise CRH. Those are different. Okay. This will be okay. This is windowed down. I think this is actually all the stuff that belongs here. It's sort of dumb to put this stuff in before it's used. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Against my judgment, I'll leave it. This feels like a good general purpose thing to have, so let's move it over. On the other hand, it's... No, never mind. Never mind. Okay, find opposite target CRH. Did I put that? I can move that over. Let's do that. Go ahead and import this. Wait. Hold on. No, let's go ahead and get the real math, not the Pro Builder math. Find nearby block pad CRH. Whole bunch of whole bunch of stuff in here about block pads. Let's just let that be for now. I don't know if there's going to be any other creatures that care about block pads. No. This seems specific to chuckers. Yeah. Yeah, this is all specific. I think that's probably about it. Get rid of this guy. Okay, and then come back up here, look for things that don't need to be public. Okay, suppose I take off public. No, all blocks work activity needs it. Okay. What about get push CRH? Nope. Okay, that looks about right. Okay. Alright, let's try it out. So one thing I'll be able to see pretty quick is if I broke the checkers. I didn't. I can tell because I just got the same results with my playback. These three guys are just waiting here. Looking good, my little buddies. Okay. Logically, I don't see any problems. So I'll call that a successful refactor. There was one thing that was bugging me, coupling of state to the checker. What is it to do in here somewhere? Yeah, this thing. All right, how do I want to handle this? So let me think about it. That's my favorite so far. Actually, I think I can do a little bit better. Yeah, this might be it right here. Let me think about this. Okay. So next command could look at the current React command of the piece, and it could create state there if there was not already state of the expected type. That's pretty good. Yeah, because with this kind of approach, I've got like a dictionary structure, and it's got that sort of hash table lookup or a binary tree lookup each time I call it. Close the structure. think that's it. That's the way to do it. Okay. So let's explore this a little bit more. So that will allow me to also have this return null if it's not matching. That's pretty much it. I don't know, do I want to have like a base class and derive from it for activity state? Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's do that. Okay, so it's going to be React data. Yeah, because then I can implement syncable, and that'll help. That'll allow me to do predictions. Okay. So let me say, damn, how to do this right. Could make it a template class. Could make this an interface too. Public abstract interface. Not abstract. Interfaces are just kind of by definition abstract. Okay. Syncable. T. That's probably all I need for that. Then in React data, Oh, god damn it. So for this, I'd have to say, man, it's like templates are a cancer. I mean, I could say that you also have to, this has to be a template, and you have to pass a T in for it, and that'll cause other problems. Let's just make this an object. Okay. It's kind of hard. Let me think. Problem is, I really want sync2 that's implemented here to call isyncable on the activity state, but let me try this. If activity is not equal to null, activity state is not equal to null. Type equals activity state get type. Okay, then we say type. Can I do that? Huh, I have no idea. Exploring the territory here a bit. Activity state. I think I might get away with this. Damn it. I mean, I could force isyncable to. No, I just don't know. Maybe there's some other way of doing this. Let's see. C# cast to type known at runtime. Yeah, that one. Ooh, I got +10. Yep, nice. Yeah, he's trying to do the same kind of thing here. How can I cast value to param type? No. His question's different than mine. It looked good. Okay, you could go dynamic, for example. All right, I'll see. I don't think it'll work. Convert. Change type. We pass in activity state. You say we're gonna go to this type. What's your issue? I think I did the same way. I'm guessing since my thing doesn't implement in iConvertible, it doesn't work. Ugh. I don't like these salary ranges. Because usually when these get represented here, they're higher end salaries, and these are not that high. They're not. Yeah, that's a trend. Okay, I'm getting distracted by something. All right. So this feels like even if I did get it to work, it's not really a great solution. What I could implement is inside of activity state, instead of just doing the same isyncable, I could make a generic interface that could be used. And it could be close to isyncable, but not exactly the same. So we'll say, bring this over. Create copy. System object. And over here we say want to pass mutable linkage to it ever? Let's leave out mutable linkage for now. Okay, so then we say inside of React data, if activity state is not equal null, then we'll do to activity state. Let's see, activity state. Activity state sync to there we go. Much better. Much better than what I was getting ready to do. Okay, that was probably the hard part of all this. Okay, seems like a good suggestion. All right, so that covers that. Then I think okay, let's I don't want to use serialize because now the whole thing is not serializable. Okay, so we'll say at some point I really think I'm going to go through in all these places where I've got create copy, deep clone, just replace them with code that doesn't rely on serialization. So we'll say new React data activity equals activity, React data activity state equals activity state, create copy, React data, what else is there? Command equals command create copy. What? Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay, what else is in here? Command, activity, state. This can just get copied. This is not actually something that okay. Return. You can do it this way. Okay, I'll follow my own advice. React util. Get activity state. Command. What's the difference between the React data and the... Is there one for getting the data? No, I'm confused. Okay. Who is using React data? It is it public? Is that what it is? No? Okay. Okay, so I've got commands not in React util, but in piece. That's a little bit better, actually. Okay, so let's go over to hold on though. What's the best way to do this really? So I know iReactin has got some stuff in there for it. Let me look at what iReactin already has. So set activity, get activity. Could just put it in here. Got the React data all insulated. All right, let's just follow the pattern. Also, I won't do that type checking thing. I'll let the caller check on it. Okay. So just get rid of this. Okay, now I'll have a need to implement and I've got a feeling this is getting a little bit boilerplatey, but it's not terrible. It's not hard to maintain. It's not too bad. Boy, I just thought of another problem though. It's okay. It's okay. I can handle that. All right. So inside of activity state, there's this stuff here. Inside of the problem would be if the activity states if they've got different types. So let's just write a new function, sync activity state. Activity state, and then 2. All right, static void sync activity state. From activity state. React data to React data. Okay, if from activity state equals null, this is a trivial case to check on, to React data activity state equals null. Okay, so that would cover that. Then we say if from x to get type not equal to React data activity state get type. Then we'll say, we'll just make a copy. Take the hit. I don't like to make copies, but it's not going to be the end of the world. Okay, so we'd say to React data activity state equals from activity state create copy, and then it will be of a matching type, and we can return. All right. Because otherwise, what could happen is that the activity state type changes, and when I do a sync, it won't synchronize. There'll be a casting error in the sync too. Okay, This should fix it though. This should be empty. There we go. That fixes that. Okay, these guys are going to have to copy and paste in a dumb boilerplate way. This will go away. Okay, let's fix all of these. Alright, what's the complaint here? Oh, it just hasn't been checked in, that's why it's red. Okay, so then chucking activity. Let's see, let's do it this way. That's not too horrible. Okay, so then let's say no. This would be iReactive piece. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, so we'll say if not, activity state is checking activity state. Yeah. Okay, so initialize the state. I kind of like to be a little more positive. Let's do it the first way. Okay. Otherwise, there we go. That should do it. So down here, we say might as well just call this get activity state. All right. I no longer need this. And here I can say what? Public. Why does that work? That should be an error. What if I do this? Okay, I think what was missing was that. And there probably was an error down below. Okay. Here's where I get to get rid of this crap. This, I think I can put, I can keep this inside this class. It's definitely not used outside of it, but let me put it up top. It'll be a little bit nicer. Okay. Huh. Wow, there's a lot of changes. Let's hope that works. Okay, I forgot to copy over the same stuff over to there, so let's go grab heavy. Okay, once I see this working, that'll be the end of the stream for today. I'll keep doing some more work, but it'll be off stream. Because I gotta surprise you. I gotta come back with something new that you haven't seen. That's not really the reason. I think I just want to do one stream a day. I want some of my time to be not on stream because it's sort of nice to like play some podcasts and stuff while I'm working. And there are some things I want to work on too that they are part of the game, but they should be private. Like I don't want to spoil things related to the story, for example. That was good. No assertions, no errors. And I get to the same thing with these three guys here, which means all the code's working as it did previously. Okay, let me do one other test. I'm going to turn on the predictive boards, the predictions. Save that. I play again. Let's see if I can crash it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is the kind of thing right here. Okay, I think I back at it though. So one of these two values is going to be null. So let's say if to React data activity state equals null, or it's like I can't actually make this comparison if activity state of the destination instance is null, because the get type can't be called in anything. So yeah, that should do it. Yeah, the predictions are working as expected. So the way I can tell it was working is that I can see that moving west or east, I'm going to get knocked to the east. It would not have been able to predict that, except that the board state was copied over, or the activity state was copied over. So that's as it should be. So if someone was watching me writing this code, they would see all this stuff about syncable and all this kind of boilerplatey stuff, and it might seem like a waste of time. But let me explain what all that boilerplate type code accomplished. Whenever you step someplace in the game, around you there are 4 squares. They show the prediction of what will happen if you issue that command. Now, if it's just a simple square, it means you can move there, nothing weird's going to happen. Okay? Now this one means if you move west, you're going to get knocked to the east. You move east, you're going to get knocked to the east. Now I could do analysis of what's on the board to figure these things out. But what I found after a while was that the analysis, in order for it to be accurate, needed to be exactly the same thing as the actual code that updates the game. So I was writing 2 sets of code for a little while, saying like, if you go here, you're going to die because there's spikes there. But there's some other code that actually performs the command and sees that the result is that you died, when you actually play the game. So I made the same code that updates the game state in response to your command, responsible for predicting whether you will die or not, or whether you get pushed. And it does this by just creating 4 copies of the game state, 1 for each possible move that you might make, and running the command that the player might issue in that instance. And in order to do that each and every turn without allocating a whole bunch of memory all the time, I created this syncable interface, which takes all the data state for all the different objects in the game and syncs it without allocating to the predictive instances. So there's 5 versions of reality that are being updated all the time. One is the main one that you are using to play the game with, and the 4 other ones are related to predictions that show up as these pink squares. And I don't have to keep thinking about updating that code, and I just have to make sure that every new element which is part of the game state has this syncable interface, and then whatever its new behavior is, they'll automatically be used in the predictions. So that's what I get with all this boilerplate stuff. If anybody ever watches this and says, I don't know why you did that in the AI, it could have been so much simpler. You're right, but you wouldn't have automatically gotten the power of the predictions displaying all this information. Okay, so that's it for this stream. And if anybody's lurking, hey, hi. Nothing wrong with lurking. And if anybody's watching this on the YouTube archive or on Twitch, I hope you got something out of it. I'm stopping the stream. I'm going to do some more work on Godkiller. This is a big week for me to work on it. I got a vacation break from the day job. So lots of stuff going into the game this week. I'm pretty excited about it. All right. Stopping the stream. Stop stopping it right now.